Hello and welcome to QE Talks, the Quality English podcast. Quality English is a quality assurance and brand marketing association that brings together a selection of the very best independent English language schools and colleges from around the world. In this series, we go beyond the guidebooks to explore trusted English language destinations through the experiences and insights of quality English schools and education agents.
Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of QE Talks. I'm Jonathan Swindell from Quality English and I'll be your host for today's conversation. New Zealand is renowned for its outstanding education, spectacular natural landscapes and friendly, welcoming communities. It offers students the opportunity to improve their English whilst enjoying one of the safest and most beautiful countries in the world, from dramatic coastlines and mountains to vibrant laid-back cities. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Darren Conway, Managing Director at Languages International, Mauro Ramirez, Marketing and Recruitment Manager at CCEL. Thank you both for joining us. Let's begin by getting to know you a little bit better. So firstly, over to Darren. Can you briefly introduce yourself and your school?
Thank you, Jonathan. So I'm Darren Conway. I'm the Managing Director of Languages International in Auckland, where I've worked for over 30 years now. Most of my English language teaching career. Languages International is actually the oldest private language school in New Zealand or Australia. We're coming up on 50 years. First opened in 1976, actually. Government registered in 1978. And we have a long and proud history teaching English in Auckland.
Fantastic. And Mauro?
Hello, I'm Mauro Ramirez and I work at CCEL in Christchurch. Yes, we are not the oldest schools, but we have been 30 years delivering English. And we are also located in the University of Canterbury campus, which allows students to have a university environment while they're learning English. We're located in the South Island, quite another nice destination within New Zealand.
Great. So we have representation from both the North and the South Island here. Darren, as a proper Kiwi, what do you personally love most about New Zealand?
I to tell you the truth, I like that it's easy for me to live in, but I also think it's easy for students to be in and for people from anywhere. I think people generally feel pretty relaxed coming to New Zealand, and I think that's a good thing. Sometimes you want excitement. You don't always get that here, but if you want comfort and a welcoming, relaxing place, then this is the place to be.
I'm sure there is excitement to be found as well. Mm-hmm. Mauro, where are you from originally and what do you personally love most about New Zealand?
So originally I'm from Chile and I've been in New Zealand 18 years. And I've been quite lucky because I lived 9 years in Auckland and now I've been 9 years in Christchurch. And in general, New Zealand is a safe environment. That I think is for coming from South America. That's what I appreciate most. And the same as Darren, is really relaxed. And the lifestyle in general, it's easy, it's relaxed, it's laid back, and it's not stressed as when you go to other countries. So it's quite something that, for the students, it's really good environment to study.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, and Darren, if you had to describe New Zealand in just 3 words, and I'm very strict about this, for international students, what would they be?
Welcoming, relaxed, green.
Perfect. And Mauro?
You took my words, almost all of them. So I'll try to change them. So safe, natural, and respectful to everything, people and nature.
Beautiful. Okay. Right. Let's move on to New Zealand as a destination for students. Mauro, let's stick with you. What makes New Zealand such a special destination for language students?
Oh, we probably are going to repeat many times that it's safe and it's really friendly, but it's a friendly environment. And what I personally found good for the students, that is really multicultural, but at the same time really welcoming. And people, the locals here, they're really interested to learn from other countries. And then we are far from the rest of the world. We are quite isolated in terms of the rest of the world. And people is always quite keen to learn and to talk with the students and to learn what they're doing from their countries, especially if they're countries that are not really popular here. So that's probably the most attractive thing for the students.
Okay. Darren, what usually surprises students the most when they arrive?
Actually, one of the things that Mauro mentioned, particularly for Auckland and increasingly so for Christchurch as well, how multicultural it is. I mean, Auckland is a really multicultural city. We're up there and we're classed as a super diverse city now, with more than 40% of the population born overseas. And I don't think people expect that. So that can be a bit of a surprise. And it's these days it's a pleasant surprise. If you went back, 20 years, students were still asking for, a very Anglo kind of experience. But now they're much more open to the cultural experience that they get here.
Brilliant. Would you agree with that, Mauro? Is there anything else that surprises students when they arrive?
Yeah, I think the diversity, but I think when we think about diversity, it's about cultural stuff, but also the scenery and the nature, and it's quite diverse. And for a country that is quite far from the rest of the world, it has a little of everything of other countries. Probably the good things of each country is all here in New Zealand. So yeah, so I agree with the same. Everything is quite good.
So you mentioned the scenery, and it is a beautiful country. Darren, how does the South Island differ from the North Island in that regard?
Look, I mean,
And which one's better?
Not start.
Yeah, if people are coming here and they haven't got so much time, I'd always say go to the South Island because it is so beautiful. But I've heard students tell me recently that they really enjoyed traveling, unexpectedly enjoyed more traveling around the North Island. But I think what makes it really different, the first time I went to Switzerland was only about early 2000s, 25 years or so ago. And the first time I went there and I thought, God, it's really similar to the South Island. I wonder why we get all these Swiss students. And then one of the students, or some Swiss, said to me, well, New Zealand is like Switzerland with beaches. And I think that's what's really distinctive about New Zealand, that you get so much in a fairly compact area. We haven't got true desert like Australia, but otherwise, you're never more that the farthest you can get from the sea in New Zealand is 80 kilometers.
Wow.
And you can literally ski and surf on the same day.
Yeah.
Snow ski and surf.
Amazing.
So the compactness makes it pretty unique.
Yeah. I mean, Mauro, you mentioned you've lived in Auckland and Christchurch. How do you see the differences between the North and South Island?
They're quite different. I think they are not 100% comparable. And in Auckland, you have it's a bigger city than the other cities in the rest of New Zealand. It's green as well. You have probably the beaches, and the weather of course helps more. In the South Island, what personally I like living here, it's the weather. It's cold, but it's not as cold as probably everybody thinks, and you can still enjoy everything what is around the cities, around whatever, and in the area. So it's not a weather that it limits you to stay at home the whole winter. And winters here are just stunning. Clear sky. It's cold, but clear sky. And so but in general, New Zealand, it's a really beautiful place to stay. I like South Island, but as I said, I lived in the North Island. I like it as well. So it's quite hard to say which one is the best.
Yeah. I mean, we had this conversation when we were talking about the UK, and it almost became a competition between the North and the South. But it like you say, New Zealand's very accessible and it's easy to see as much as possible, isn't it? And to access the North Island from the South Island and vice versa. It's very easy to travel around, isn't it?
It is. And this is, I take it from students' comments. And my personal comment is, we are two islands, but we're not small islands. So you need a couple of weeks to go through the whole country. And there's so many different places that you can visit that it's quite difficult to decide which one is the best, which one is the most beautiful one, because everywhere you look, there is something beautiful.
Yeah, it's not a competition. So let's talk about the student experience. Studying abroad is obviously so much more than just learning English. Darren, which activities do your students enjoy the most outside the classroom?
Eating and drinking, actually. I mean, it's not a buzzy late night sort of culture here, but it's a relaxed cafe and eat out and sort of culture. So students spend a lot of time just socializing around the local hospitality spots.
Okay. And Mauro, any activities that your students enjoy the most?
So it's kind of the same. So they also, I mean, there's a, as we were talking about multicultural, there's a variety of food that they can try, and coffees, of course. Cafes here are quite popular, but especially here in Christchurch, the students normally go to around the city and to the variety of parks and places where they can go, any tracks, so going skiing in winter. So there are plenty of outdoor activities that the students do here as well.
Yeah, I think Darren's told me about the coffee culture in New Zealand before, and I was pleased to hear about the independent coffee shops. And does that kind of theme run through all kind of shops and restaurants? And
Yeah.
Coffee more, yeah. I think the conversation we had was that we drove Starbucks out. So,
yeah,
I mean, there's Starbucks in New Zealand, but you know, they have a hard time competing against the local cafes.
yeah, good.
And there's so many cafes around.
Yeah.
It compete with Starbucks. So yeah.
Are there any hidden gems? Let's start in around the kind of Auckland area. Any hidden gems that students shouldn't miss?
Yeah, well, I suppose the surprising places that they're not really top of the list, but I had a student, Swiss student recently, who went to Great Barrier Island, which is, you know, it's about 20 k's off the coast of Auckland, a fairly wild place. And she said she thought like she'd stepped into the set of Jurassic Park. She was expecting dinosaurs to come out of the bush at her. And it's a really beautiful place. It's fairly inaccessible. So it's somewhere really wild you can go. It's only kind of 20 minutes, you know, flight from Auckland if you want to fly over there in a little plane, or it's it's a really nice 4-hour ferry trip. The last time I did that ferry trip, the captain of the boat diverted for about an hour to follow a pod of whales. So,
Wow.
you know, I suppose that's one of the surprising little gems that you can see. You can see whales, you know, in Auckland.
Yeah. And do you camp when you're over there, or is it just for a hike and then you come back?
You can camp over there, but otherwise there's it's all off grid. Everything's solar power or diesel generated, and little what we call batches, cribs, small holiday houses.
Sounds fantastic. And Mauro, around your neck of the woods, any hidden gems?
So, and there are plenty of places here, but if we talk about close to Christchurch, I would say my favorite one is Godley Heaths, which is it's just a track. It's probably about 45 minutes from here. The views are just stunning, and the walk is a really beautiful and nice, easy walk to do. I mean, on a morning on a Saturday, so it's a really nice place. But also thinking about the South Island, Abel Tasman. That's probably, it's a really special place because it's nature. There had the beach close by and nice walks, but also the weather is quite different to the rest of the island. So you most likely will find good weather over there. And Milford Sound, that's what everybody sees in the photos. And when I saw it the first time, just I understood why it was so that famous. That place, it had to be said.
Yeah, absolutely stunning, those places. Talking about the students themselves, Darren, what accommodation options do they prefer the most?
We still have nearly half of our students go into homestay, despite, you know, the average adult student age getting older and people getting more independent. It's surprising how resilient that homestay preference has been, and it's a good option in New Zealand because, you know, one of the things that makes New Zealand a good place to study is that actually everybody acts like a host. Homestays are still, you know, they, like Mauro said, they want to learn, but they also want to host foreigners, show them their country. We do have residence options, and a lot of people these days are just organising their own accommodation as well.
Is that the same in Christchurch, Mauro?
Yeah. I mean, we have homestays and student residence, but homestay is the most popular one because it's a nice way to to also learn about the culture, to learn about the day by day. And it's a good option for the students. I mean, they arrive to a house, they don't arrive to just a room. And yeah, that's probably, yeah, I agree. Homestay is the most popular one.
Okay. That seems to be a
Mm.
theme in most of these podcasts when we talk to our schools around the world. Homestay seems to be the most popular. It gives them a chance to really kind of embrace the culture and just learn constantly and speak the language constantly. So
Yeah.
it's pleasing to hear.
It's been surprising how long it's lasted, the preference for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've spoken about nature and the outdoors. What role does nature and the outdoors play in the overall student experience? I mean, we're talking about a stunning country. So they're in the classroom, but just outside the door, there are beautiful scenes. So what role does nature and the outdoors play in their experience?
Look, it must be a major part of what people enjoy here, because they come a long way to come here. So yeah, just it's partly the nature when they go to it, when they go on the walks or they go to the beaches, but it's also actually just generally. I mean, I'm still a little bit surprised myself occasionally by how green Auckland actually is, how many parks there are, how many trees there are. And London is actually a very green city too when you look down on it. So it's not that it isn't, but the experience here is nature is all around you. You can't really escape it.
Yeah. And the same in the South Island, Mauro?
Yeah. I mean, I think nature is part of New Zealand life. It's quite hard to separate it because, as Darren was saying, wherever you go, there's nature, and it's part of the life. It's something that you do on the weekend. You go for a walk, nature, or as Darren was saying, I mean, Auckland, Christchurch, all the cities, they're really green and they have parks, and so yeah, it's exactly the same. It's part of it's part of the day by day, not for the students, it's for all of us, for everybody.
Thank you, guys. I mean, you're painting a beautiful picture of New Zealand, and I'm longing to return. Let's finish with a rapid fire round. Tricky questions, but we want quick answers. Darren, North Island or South Island?
Waiheke Island.
Mauro, best outdoor activity?
Any track in the bush.
Hiking?
Yes, hiking, any
Yeah.
walk.
Okay. Darren, one New Zealand food everyone should try?
Yeah, barbecued lamb.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah, New Zealand's famous for its lamb, isn't it?
Yeah.
But particularly barbecued. Okay. Mauro, favorite beach or lake?
Cathedral Cove.
Yeah, I
Down
had my favorite beach is just over the hill from there, which is Hahe, like
Oh, yeah.
20-minute walk.
Lovely. And Darren, best place for adventure?
Yeah, I mean, it pains me to say it, but Queenstown.
Uh-huh. You got the
New Zealand.
skydiving, bungee jumping.
Yeah, you can do it all pretty close.
Yeah.
Dangerous mountain biking,
Lake.
skydiving, parapenting, everything you can do there. But I would,
Yeah.
and so yes, that's the place to go for adventure. But there's a lot more to New Zealand than Queenstown.
Yeah, I think I did my skydiving in Lake Taupo.
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
That's a nice place to do it.
Yeah.
Good view.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
still recovering 20 years on. But yeah, so if you want danger and adventure, then it's Queenstown, really, isn't it?
Mhm.
Okay, well, thank you both so much. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today and for sharing your insights and experiences. We hope today's conversation has given agents and future students a deeper understanding of what makes New Zealand such a unique and memorable destination for learning English. To learn more about trusted independent English language schools in New Zealand and around the world, visit qualityenglish.com and explore our destination guides. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on QE Talks.